Well, hi, thanks for talking to me. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Well, to start off, why don't you tell me a bit about the character you play?
So, my character's name is Shelby, and she is basically this teenage runaway who is determined to marry who she thinks is her soulmate. But throughout the episode, along the way, she kind of realizes some things, some self reflective moments, and yeah, that's all I can say about that without like too many spoilers.
So that's fine.
Um, but it was a lot of fun. It was so great to work with Melissa for like I almost said again, but we hadn't worked together. But like we exist in the same universe. But it was so great getting to work with Melissa. She's an absolute sweetheart, and we'd been wanting to work together for so long. It was so cool to finally get to.
That's fine. That's cool. Is that why I was going to say, why did you decide to do it? Was that part of it, or was it more the script? Like, why did you want to do it?
I think I wanted to do it mainly because like this I've heard so many good things about the set already because like I like everyone just raves about how kind it is over there. Wendy Malick is over there who was also on Young Sheldon. I'm a big fan of hers. I love her to death. She's so sweet. And then Melissa, and then obviously John Larroquette, the John Larroquette, and just like the entire cast and crew was so nice. Um, but yeah, I feel like there was so many components to why I wanted to do it. I thought the story was really fun. Um, but I think really it was like the people. I was like, I love this group of people so much already that like I was like, I can't say no to Melissa. I love her so much. And why would I? It was so much fun. It was the best week and I loved it.
Great. Now, it says that the story of the episode is similar, I guess, to one of the original shows of of the original series. Obviously, you were not alive when that was out, but did you watch the episode that this was kind of, calling back to?
So this episode was an homage to Michael J. Fox's episode. And whenever we got the like official invite to be on the show, um, I was like, well, I have to like do this correctly because Nightcore already has such a lovely, wonderful, dedicated fan base. And I was like, I want to like make sure that the fans are happy. And so I did my research. I watched the episode. I knew about it and I was like I have to do this right. And I think I did. I hope I did. I hope everyone loves it. It was a lot of fun to be on though.
Was there anything else other than watching that you did to prepare before you started?
I don't think I think the main thing was watching the episode. Being on set though, I asked a lot of questions. I really wanted to like I got to see how they work and like the tone of it and everything just being on the set. And I think the main thing research wise was going back and watching the original episode.
Mhm. What did you find the easiest and the hardest part of her to connect with?
Hmm. I felt like the easiest. She's very similar to Missy, and I'm very similar to Missy. And so obviously they're different people.
Right.
But there are some like components that are the same. And so I felt like having those there made it a bit easier because I knew how to play that. I think the hardest thing wasn't even really her, but like the live audience having to like be used to a live audience because I'm still having to get used to that after being on a single cam for 8 years. And so getting used to like the live audience and like remembering to like tune into that probably was the most difficult part because you have to like remember to pause for like laughter and stuff. And so that I think that'd be my answer.
Right. Is there anything other than like pausing that? What else did you kind of learn from this experience? Just it doesn't have to be specifically with it being live, just overall. Like, did you learn anything else from being there?
I think one thing that I love to do is just to sit there and just watch the actors work. Even if I'm not in the scene, just going and like sitting and watching them, especially with such talented comedy actors like Wendy Malick, Melissa, John Larroquette. they're all they just know their craft so well. And so just getting to sit there and watch them work is such an honor, and like you just learn so much just from getting to watch their performance. And so it's not really like they told me, like they sat down and they were like, here's
Right.
some advice for you. But it was more just getting to watch them work in the dynamic and just seeing just how amazing they are at their craft.
Yeah. Now that you've done both, though, that you've done the live and the single cam, which do you enjoy more, or is one more difficult, or like what's kind of, I guess, the huge part of it for you that's different, why you would choose one over the other?
I think probably the most difficult part, I love both for different reasons. Multicam is very similar to theater and is honestly one of the reasons I've kind of opened up to possibly doing theater at some point in my life. The other reason is Rachel Bay Jones, because she found out I didn't want to do theater and she sat me down for like 30 minutes and explained why theater is so amazing and why I should do it. So that's like one of the reasons why I love multicam, is because it is so similar to theater. Single cam I like because you're on set more. You're on set all day, every day, except weekends. Obviously, they don't make us work weekends. Um, but just gotta clarify. But you're there all day, every day. Like it's just, I love being on set. I find an excuse to be on set. Even whenever I would wrap, I would be like, we can hang around a bit longer. We don't have to leave. I love being on set so, so, so much. And I think that's what I love most about single cam is you're just constantly there, just constantly surrounded by talented people, cast and crew, and you do get to just go sit and just watch. And I don't think I have a least favorite. I think I just like both for different reasons.
That's fair. That's fair. What's do you have, I don't know if you can tell me, do you have like a favorite scene that you can tease without giving too much away?
I think my favorite scene is it's whenever Shelby, my character, and the my soulmate fiance are sitting in Abby's chambers, and she's trying to talk us out of not wanting to get married in a very funny way. And that's all I can say about that. But
Okay.
that was probably my favorite scene. It's really silly.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it
Of
and have a good
course.
rest of your evening. Well,
Have
maybe
a
it
good
might
rest of
be
your
earlier
day.
there. I was gonna say it might be earlier where you are
It's
here.
it's two,
Yeah, it's
so
earlier
basically
there.
pretty yeah. Have a good rest of your day though.
Yes, yes, yes. Have a good rest of your day. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.